Whole my life, I thought discipline is something a self-restriction. I always think of discipline as like a strict teacher that nobody likes, but we know that is going to give us a good result. But we still don't like that. Whole my life, I thought that discipline is something that I cannot have. At age of 35, I decided to quit my life. I decided to rewrite my story. I didn't like the way that I was living. I didn't like the job that I had. If it wasn't for discipline, I wouldn't be able to achieve what I have right now. I'm living beautiful, grateful life. I am a brand owner of Ankara, where I make empowering products for kids. I create YouTube videos to inspire others. I coach many women to find their purpose in life. If it wasn't for discipline, I wouldn't be able to do it. But I, whole my life, was never a disciplined person. I would never even wake up early. I would say things and I would never follow through. I wanted to change my life many times before, but it never happened. So what happened this time that it made me stick every single day? In this video, I am going to share 10 simple ways to build discipline. First, reframe the discipline. Like I said, whole life, I always thought that it's a strict teacher. Discipline is something like that I would never be able to do it. But now I see discipline as a whole different angle. It's just like when you change the filter, you start to see a different picture. To me, discipline is all about self-respect. People talk a lot about the self-care. People talk about it doing the facial and doing the spa day. To me, the best way to self-care is sticking to your own words. When you say that you are going to do that thing, no matter what happened, you have to fulfill your own promises. And discipline is exact same way. Every time I am going to be vulnerable here, before filming this video, I contemplated many times. And I said that, oh, it's an evening, it's a beautiful sunny day. I want to go out with my son for a walk. I really didn't want it to because I knew that I was procrastinating. Then I just turned on the camera. Why? Because I told myself that I'm going to film this video today and I am going to fulfill this promise no matter what happened. In my eye, this is a true self-respect. James Clear talks about it shifting the identity. Rather than saying that I want to lose weight, I am not going to eat this food, just say what type of food a healthy person would make. And this is the second point. Become your identity. If you want to start a business, rather than thinking from somebody who has never run a business before, think from if you already own a brand. And this is exactly how I did it. Nobody around me ever started a business. When I was planning to launch my brand, I didn't know nothing, but only mindset that I shifted is I started acting like somebody who has already well-established brand. How would they launch their business? And this changed everything for me. Everyone says start tiny, and I didn't understand that. Every time I make a goal, I will just go all in there for 1 or 2 days or maximum 1 week. And then everything fall apart. Why? Because what I was missing is start tiny. And this is the point number 3. Use 2-minute rule. The problem is we are overachiever. We all are. We think big goals and we wanted to accomplish them today. Right now, in this moment, I am going to do everything and tomorrow I'll be a successful person. But this is not how it works. Just start tiny because you are going to overwhelm your system. All you have to do is, if you are not somebody who likes to read the book, just open the book. Just open the book and read for 2 minutes. And this is kind of the rule that I made. Initially, I never read books in my life, but within 2 years, I have read over 25 books. How I was able to do it? Just by sticking with this start tiny. There are some days when I don't even have time because I'm also a mom. I have to take care of my son. I don't have time in the morning to read book. But my rule is just 2 minutes. Until this date, I follow through it. Often we are not clear with our goals. When we make a goals, we have some vague idea. I wanted to make X amount of money. I wanted to become a YouTuber. When you ask them what type of videos you would make, they have no idea. And this is where we all go wrong. When I wanted to make changes in my life, all I knew, I wanted to quit my job. Okay, so what I'm gonna do? Nothing. When I didn't have a clarity, I would never take an action. And all the time I would say, when this thing happened, then I will do this. Instead, I start reframing. When I finish my lunch, then I will take 10 minutes of walk. When I started implementing this when and then principle, it changes everything. And this is called the implementation intention, and it works every single time. So next time when you say something vague, when the summer comes, I will plan a trip somewhere. Instead, just say, on the June 20th, I will plan my first trip to Europe. When you implement when and then, that's when you start to see that your brain now gets it, that it is a real thing. They're your goals, whatever that you are saying, it has a timeline on it that you are going to do it. Then you are being forced to take that action. Oftentimes, we struggle against our environment. You know that every single night when you go to bed, you scroll for 2 hours, and you know this, but every single day you still make the same decision. At least I was doing the same. Every single day I would complain that I don't have a time whole day. And then I started realizing what is my screen time. And by the way, if you don't know the screen time on your phone, I would suggest if you use the iPhone, you should check the screen time. That tells you how much time are you using on the social media. Nothing wrong with the social media. I really love the social media. I get so much inspiration from it, and I love that. But only when you are being intentional about it. When you know that every night all you do is scroll, then replacing your phone with the book would make a huge difference, at least for me. When I stop taking my phone in my room and I start putting book next to my bed, I know that I'm going to read, even if it is for 2 minutes. I am not going to bed without reading the book, and it's all about that. And often we make it challenging. We think that why things are not working out. Maybe check your environment. If you are somebody wanting to lose weight, open your pantry, open your fridge, and see how many junk food do you have. Rather than coming up with this strong motivation and willpower to say no every time to make that decision, just throw all that junk food out of your pantry and replace it with the healthy food. You are more likely to eat healthy food over the junk food. I learned this stacking habit from James Clear in the Atomic Habits. He talks about it every time. When you stack new habit to your existing one, you are going to implement it for a long time. And this is called habit stacking. Every time when I finish my meditation, I start doing my exercise, and I don't let my brain talk me out of it. Why? Because I know meditation is something that I have been doing for years now, and I know this is part of my routine. But exercising is something that I was never part of my routine. The way that I am building my workout routine is to stack an habit with my already existing habit, and this is the best way. As soon as I finish my exercise, I know this is the time I am going to grab my pen and paper and I'm going to do the journaling, even if it is for 2 minutes. And that makes so much easier rather than just relying on the willpower. Next is build a ritual. For me, in the morning when I start my work, I always just make sure my workstation is clean. Sometimes I light a candle and I turn on a focus music. What it does, it sets a ritual. It trains your brain that when you do these ritual, you are going to show up fully in your work. For example, if you're going to gym, before going to gym, maybe you can put on your clothes, put on your shoes, and you know that this is the same ritual you are going to do when you are going to go for a gym. Creating a ritual has a huge impact on our brain, and you can do that to anything and everything. This is where I was going wrong. I was doing a lot of things and I was never celebrating my small wins. And I recently have been started doing that, and it has quite a bit of impact on your brain. So when I film a video, because filming a video is still out of my comfort, every time I film a video, I tell myself, now I'm going to go on the social media. I can get some more inspiration to film more videos. In a way, celebrating a small win almost creates a dopamine effect, which your brain craves. Our brain loves reward, and our brain loves the instant gratification. The best way to do it, do that task and celebrate the small wins. Next is something that I still struggle this date. Being a perfectionist is actually a killer of success, and I say it out loud. I think I have a post-it note on my desktop that perfection leads to nowhere. Perfection is something now I do not starve for. Every time I find myself looking for perfection, I stop myself and I repeat this. Perfection is a killer of success. Whatever you want to do it, just start. Even if you feel like it's a crappy, just start. It's not about perfection. It's about self-compassion. Self-compassion leads to the long-term discipline, long-term success, rather than just shaming yourself. When you are being perfect, you are actually shaming yourself. Doing a hard thing is challenging for our brain. Every time when I do hard thing, for example, I have never started a business, so I didn't know how to reach out to the manufacturer, how to actually negotiate with the manufacturer. And when I was in that process, after that task, I asked myself that how did I actually feel about it? That was something that out of my complete comfort. I have never had a negotiation with a manufacturer. I have never actually contacted somebody's overseas. Who am I dealing with? I deal with the manufacturer. They are overseas. I've never met them. I've never seen them. And I am making a big decision with them. That was very uncomfortable. And every time you do anything that is out of your comfort, ask yourself, how did you feel? And almost give your brain a proof that you can do hard things. And it's almost like track your emotional win. And ask yourself, did you trust yourself? This is literally a real discipline tracker. When you say that you are going to hit a gym and you've never been in the gym, and when you lift a heavy weight, it's going to hurt a lot. It's probably going to feel a lot uncomfortable. But after finishing a gym, ask yourself, how did you feel? You wanted to quit a job and it's such a hard decision. But after you quit your job and apply a new job, ask yourself, how did you go? How did you feel? And that is a true discipline tracker. Always remember, discipline is almost like a muscle. And every time I tell this to myself, that is something that we can build over time. When you go in the gym, you start doing the exercise, you over a period of time build that tolerance, build that muscle. The same way discipline works. It's all about identity. It's all about system, compassion. It's all about starting small and repeat often and become the unstoppable. I know if you're watching this video, you are an ambitious person, and if you feel sometime lazy, then you are going to benefit from this video. Thank you so much for watching.